I think about Joshua when he was fighting. Remember how time and again God would have him cut his army back down and everything until he was way outnumbered. God did that on purpose. You know why? So that at the end of the day, and when the battle was won, Joshua and all his army would say, there's only one reason we came through this, and it's God. We were talking this morning a little bit about Pharaoh, and you remember the story that there was several opportunities, several times as a matter of fact, I don't remember exactly how many, when Pharaoh agreed, he said, yes, I'll let you go. And then they left, and then, he went and got him, changed his mind. And I got thinking, well, what if? What if Pharaoh hadn't changed his mind? What if he'd really let the people go? Then what would have happened? And, we would have missed the Passover and just all kinds of things, and God's plan would not have come about. And one thing that would have come about is the people of Israel, when they got free from Egypt, would not have recognized God as the source of the deliverance. They would have recognized Pharaoh as the source of their deliverance. They said, we got out because Pharaoh let us go. But no, as it was God that got them out because Pharaoh would not let them go. And you and I will face struggles where the only way we're going to get out of it is to trust God. That He's the only thing that can bring us through it. We'll get to know how powerful He is and all that He can do. Number 6, Get myself. You get stronger. You get stronger as a result of the struggle. You put down roots. You dig into the Word. You pray like you've never prayed before. I've had a few things that I've challenged you to since I've been here, and I don't know if any of you are still doing them or not. I asked you to name your 10 most wanted. Some of you, a while back, were reminding me that you still were doing the push thing. Pray until something happens. We're still praying for revival. I still believe God wants. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm not quitting. I hope you aren't. You will be stronger as a result of the struggle. Back where I grew up in upstate New York, and dairy farms, some of the farmers used to raise white veal, and I'm not even sure it's legal anymore. White veal is when they take the calves and they put the calves in a very, very narrow stall where they can hardly move. And they feed them, and then when they're slaughtered, the meat is extremely tender. Why? Because they've not had opportunity to move and strengthen their muscles, so the meat is really tender. You see, once the calves get out and an animal gets out and the steer gets out, they toughen up. Old dairy cows are sold for beef, but you don't want a hamburger out of it, believe me. That's some tough meat. And when you are in the struggle, we're not in a spiritual cocoon. We're not in a spiritual bubble. God does not protect us from all the world around us. Bethany, Oklahoma was originally Nazarene-built. It was built and established because the college was there. But it wasn't long until it was no longer Nazarene-built. And I remember Dr. Williamson saying at one time, talking about the Bible college over there in Colorado Springs, he said, if I could put a fence around this college and keep the world out, if it was possible for me to do it, I wouldn't. Because it's in confronting the world and confronting the temptations and confronting the devil head on and having struggles that we are made stronger. Well, number 7. You become aware of the excesses and unnecessary things in your life. You probably heard of the fight or flight mechanism that we all have. Imagine this, you're walking down the sidewalk, and you're thinking about the bills that you got to pay, and you're thinking about the dinner that you've got to make, and you forgot about thinking about this and that, and this and that, and you step into the street, and you look down the street, and you realize that there is a truck speeding right at you. You want to know something? You're not going to remember in that instant anymore the bills you pay, what you're going to have for supper, what you're going to wear tomorrow. As a matter of fact, your body will react. Your eyes literally bug out of your head. Did you know that? Your eyes actually, you have muscles that push your eyeballs out so that it increases your periphery vision. Your digestion shuts down. Anything else your body is doing quits so they can prepare you to fight or flight. And let me tell you, when you're in the struggle, when you're really in it, you become aware of the excesses and unnecessary things in your life. When you're really in the struggle, you realize that there's a lot of things that you can live without. Because right now what counts is this struggle that I'm in. And the multitasking goes away, and you focus in on the necessary things. Number 8. The struggle produces thankfulness. How many of you here have ever been in a tornado? Well, good. Several of you. I have. And I won't go into all the details to tell you all about that. Obviously, I'm here talking to you about it, so I and my family survived it. But I can tell you this. It didn't matter after the tornado was over. The damage that had been to our church building, my friend's car that had a tree thrown right straight through the windshield, the side of our house that looked like a dartboard with stuff thrown in it, and all those kind of things. And they asked me to come. We couldn't hold church that Sunday. They asked me to come to another Nazarene church that Sunday morning and give my testimony. You know what? When the winds died down and when the tornado was gone, I looked around for my wife and my children. And I wanted to make sure they were okay. And at that moment, I was so thankful that God had spared us unharmed. Corey, I think, had a few scratches, but other than that, we were unharmed. And I was so thankful. Time after time, when you see disasters like those tornadoes on the TV, and they interview the people, they say to you, well, we just think that our house is gone, but we thank the Lord that we're still alive, that all is well. It produces thankfulness. Their house is gone, their car is gone, but they're so thankful that they're still alive and that the family is together. The struggle produces thankfulness. When you know you had to fight for what you got, you appreciate it more. And this too, you won't let anyone take it from you. The things you're truly thankful for, you'll hang on to, you'll protect. Number 9. Struggles test your level of commitment. Struggles test your level of commitment. The only way to truly gauge your level of commitment is through the struggle. I was remembering this kind of corny story. Where I went to high school, there were a lot of Italian folks. And, you know, those gangs, too. And a lot of those Italian high school boys thought that they were it, you know. They wasn't really a gang, but I mean, you know. And also another thing about Italian families is family loyalty is extremely important. Well, it just so happens I started dating an Italian girl. Their last name was Mancuso.